Doug Feinberg, we'll start with you. Go ahead, Doug.
Coach, nice win. I know you pride yourself on being a defensive-minded coach. How much of tonight was your stellar defense versus just people just couldn't hit a shot on either side?
Oh, my gosh. We may have set back the game a few years tonight. After being 10 for 20 from the arc to go 2 for 18, it's just, some of it is New York's a little unorthodox, and they're really physical and they're aggressive, and they just they muck it up and they get you a mismatch because of how they play, and so I was proud of our defense. I thought we gave up too many offensive rebounds, considering there were times that we just had to gather it in or we were messy coming down, but that was one of those painful games that you're just grateful that you ended up on the right side of the scoreboard and you walk away and nobody got hurt.
Can you talk about the Williams' games? Because Courtney played well for you and Elizabeth had a great game all around on the defensive end, it seemed.
Yeah, I mean, I think Courtney made a couple big shots late, that obviously were the difference maker. And, I thought she started a little bit slow, but had to play her at the point there at the end. I thought Kennedy was struggling, looked tired, wasn't getting downhill like she was the other night. And so, and wanted to keep Strick out there for spacing and size and rebounding. So thought she did a good job of managing the game late. And then Elizabeth it's just really hard. I actually don't believe that she only had 6 blocks. So someone's going to have to prove to me that there weren't more than that, because I thought there was a stretch where they literally couldn't get a shot off in the lane. And the beauty of Elizabeth today was she wasn't just blocking it, she was blocking it and grabbing it before it went out of bounds. And so to not only, take a shot in the paint away, but to get possession for us, I thought she was flying around that way. We just couldn't score anywhere. We couldn't score in the paint. We were rushing in the paint. We were, it was ugly. It was just so ugly.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Danny Thompson, go ahead.
Coach Danny Thompson with the 3-point conversion. Congratulations on the win tonight. I'm pretty sure this is the way you drew it up in pregame. But with the defensive effort tonight, I know that defense has been a big concern, but to hold New York to under 27% shooting, like you said, Elizabeth with 6 block shots, was this the type of defensive performance you want from this team for the final 5 or 6 games the rest of the year?
I mean, I think there was some. First of all, I mean, it's you can't compare because you've got different. New York is unique, but they also don't have someone they play to and play through, like a lot of teams in this league. So they get you by stretching you. I thought for the most part when we weren't in transition and we weren't, kind of mismatched as a result of a turnover or a long rebound type of thing, I thought we sat down and guarded. We gave up 1 back cut all night, and so that was huge because they're a team that can score at the rim on back cuts, things like that. They started the game 3 for 5 from the arc, and some of it was good defense, and some of it was they were 0 for 15 from the arc in the second half because they were 6 for 20 at the half. So some of that was just misses. This is a team that's going to shoot a lot of threes. They want paint touches and threes, and are going to live and die by that. And ultimately, if a few more of those shots go, it could have been a different game for them. So we certainly, they were a team that in their 2 wins are averaging 13 3-point makes, and in their losses they're averaging 7. So we kept them around that 7 and under that. So for the most part, when a team shoots 26%, there's going to be a lot of offensive rebounds out there. So our rebounding percentage wasn't that bad, but that would be my only disappointment. There were times that we didn't clean up well on the glass that we needed to.
Bailey Johnson, go ahead.
Hi, Nikki. What does it say to you about the growth of your team that they can grind out this kind of gritty, not so pretty, low-scoring game?
Yeah, I mean, and they were frustrated. I mean, we were not always composed. We were constantly trying to keep them in next play mode. I think the game was really physical. We had players frustrated. They thought they were getting fouled, and so I think kind of staying in tune, making some big plays late, Courtney making a big play, Benijah making a big basket after she kind of struggled from the field. Those are winning plays, and we kept talking about that in timeouts. Like, you get to the fourth quarter and it's winning time, and you got to make winning plays. And whether that's a defensive rebound or a steal or setting a good screen to get a teammate a shot, when you're not hitting, you got to find a way to create a shot for somebody else. And so, we just found a way, and it wasn't always pretty. It was probably never pretty. For those that had to watch the other night versus tonight, that's like the tale of two games. But ultimately, when you put a win in the right column, that's what you want at the end of the day.
And last question, Michelle Hopewell, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Actually, I had two, if I could squeeze those in. The first is Courtney Williams has always been a pretty good rebounder for a 5'8" guard, even going back to college days. But I believe she's averaging her highest average 6.6 rebounds a game. What do you sort of attribute that to? And then second, you guys are still in reach of the playoffs. I mean, it's still a possibility. Do you talk to the players at all about that, or is this just we're just taking it, as they say, one game at a time and see where we end up at the end of it, or does that topic come up?
Yeah. Courtney, I mean, if you look at Courtney, amazingly, considering she's coming off of COVID, had no training camp, and is really just starting to get her legs back. I saw her take a jump shot against Indiana the other day and saw her really elevate. I thought for the first time all season, like full elevation, Courtney Williams, WNBA finals last year, looking. And so, I think that she's a player. There's two things. One, she's fearless. There are a lot of females, quite frankly, that don't jump in crowds. I mean, it just is what it is, She's someone that, we always talk about there are players that have to box out, and then there are players that are free rebounders. And most of the time she's guarding somebody that doesn't go to the glass. So that means she's a free rebounder. And especially for us, like when she was playing in Connecticut, as good a rebounder as she was, Alyssa Thomas is a great defensive rebounder, and Jonquel Jones is a great defensive rebounder. For us, we're a gang rebounding team. Like, everybody's got to do their part for us. We don't have that dominant defensive rebounder. And so for her to go clean it up, especially in a game like tonight where long shots, long rebounds, you got to read the shot off the rim. And that's what she does. She reads the shot off the rim, and then she's not afraid to go up and get it. She rebounds out of her area. So, I think if you look at her numbers across the board, she has her highest scoring average. She has her highest rebounding average. I mean, she's right there with assists. So, and right there with minutes played. So, while this is a weird season and you can't compare it to any other season because of where we're at and what it looks like, I mean, ultimately, like, you're seeing what she can do going forward. I think, honestly, I firmly believe going into this, when we didn't have Tiffany Hayes and not knowing that Benijah was going to be as good as she is, I thought Courtney could come here and be someone that could potentially be a scoring leader in the bubble, but COVID happened, and then, we've been a little more balanced because of Benijah and Kennedy scoring. So that was a long answer for her. As far as playoffs, I'm not afraid to talk about it. These guys are professionals, I mean, it certainly was our goal going into this. We weren't coming here to play 22 games. We were coming here, to play for a chance to play at least one after the 22. And so certainly we've made it tough on ourselves. But, we just have to take one game at a time, and we certainly need help. But, we're obviously going to be that team that's cheering for all the teams that have already secured playoff bids to beat all the teams that are still in contention at this point. But we can only do that if we take care of ourselves and we go into each game trying and knowing that we have to control what we can control, and that means one win at a time. So, we're kind of in that mode where we just have to go one game at a time and give ourselves that chance.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Doug Feinberg, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Elizabeth, nice game tonight, nice win.
Thank you.
Debbie Antonelli mentioned a stat that when you were in college at Duke, you probably led the nation in block shots that led to a rebounding for your team and not going out of bounds, leading to transition. Is that something you take pride in? Because I think your blocks tonight, most of them blocked, you got the ball, and you guys went the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like getting a defensive rebound so you can start your transition. And for us, we really want to get up and down. We have players that are really athletic and can get to the basket. So if we can start our break in any way, whether it's with defensive rebound or with my blocks, then I'm all for it.
Edwin Powell, go ahead.
Hey, Elizabeth, congrats on the win. Is the thought process among the team that you guys are starting to get a little bit more confidence now, and is the belief that you guys are intending to play your best basketball toward the end of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you play every game and go through every day trying to get a little bit better. It took us a little longer than some other teams, I think. I think part of that's just the circumstances that we were in, and now that we've had everyone for a little while and we're slowly getting used to it, we're playing better basketball. I mean, whether it was, even though we lost those LA games, I think you could see that the level of play was higher. So we're just trying to continue that, hopefully, into the postseason.
Danny Thompson, go ahead.
Elizabeth, Danny Thompson with the three-point conversion. Great win tonight. On a personal note, tonight with the 6 blocks, you have become the all-time franchise leader in block shots. What is your thoughts about setting that record tonight, and what does that mean to you on a personal level?
Yeah, that's big. I guess I've been at this franchise longer than I realized, but it's a pretty cool stat. I take a lot of pride in my defense, and anything that I can do to help our team win, and I think today it's been the block. So it's an exciting stat, and I'm proud of it for sure.
All right, thanks so much, E. Danny Thompson, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Shekinna, Danny Thompson with the three-point conversion. Great win tonight. Tonight was all about defense. We look at the numbers. New York did not shoot very well from behind the arc or on the floor tonight. Do you think as a unit collectively this was the best defensive game the team has played all season?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't really shoot well. But just playing, knowing the personnel, and I think communicating on defense was big today. And it was just really aggressive today.
Sydney Gibbs, go ahead.
Hey, Shekinna, congratulations on the win. I just wanted to ask you about Elizabeth Williams. I mean, she's up for the Sportsmanship of the Year award this year. And I've heard from Coach Nicki before that she's really blossomed in her leadership role. I just wanted to hear from your perspective about her growth from the beginning of the season to now and how she's been a leader on this team.
Oh, man. Coming to this team and knowing she was always been so quiet. I actually played with her rookie year in Connecticut, and knowing her that she hasn't not always been a person that's going to talk a lot or, do that. But, man, she have really taken that role. Been a great leader on and off the court with everything that's been going on. And the way she's been talking and really leading this team, it's been great. I give her a lot of credit. She really stepped up and taken that role.
Doug Feinberg, go ahead.
Hey, Shekinna, I'm first curious how your shoulder is, because they showed you coming off the court. It looked like a shoulder injury. So obviously you came back in, so it could have been terrible. But what exactly happened with your shoulder?
It's been having problems. I'm just trying to get my full extension back. We just got to keep working on it. And just trying to get it back so I can actually get my shot back. But I mean, I found a different way, being aggressive to the basket tonight. So I mean, I just have to find a different way.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had a couple of huge plays down the stretch going to the basket on the offensive end. I think you had a block or two on the defensive end. So just that last stretch, talk about your play in the final few minutes to secure the win.
Yeah, just, finding different ways. Everyone knows I'm a shooter, and, my shot has been, I've been up and down this season. But, finding other ways and being aggressive, and especially trying to be really focusing on defense for sure.
And last question, Edwin Powell.
Hey, Shekinna, congrats on the win. Talk a little bit about the confidence of this team. You guys have overcome a lot of obstacles. 2 in a row wins is always a good thing. And just talk about how you guys are feeling as a team unit through this whole process.
the best thing that we stand together as a team, as one. It could have been many times we could have, just put our heads down and just kind of went our all separate ways. But we stand together, and that's a good thing. And we're really trying to really continue to learn each other, keep building that chemistry, and just I think it's showing. We're making a lot of progress now, and we're learning each other, playing well off each other now, and that's big. And we're just gonna continue to keep fighting to the end. And I think people know that we're a team that's not gonna quit, and we got great players, and we just got to keep building and keep playing together.
Thanks so much, Rick.